Hey y'all. So I've been learning. Let's talk a little bit about Cursor and Claude and kind of paid advertising. For me, I went to school in Pullman, Washington. So when I think about football, when I think about advertising today, and I think about how we should manage it, I don't know if there's a right way. I don't know if there's a correct way. I should say. I don't know if there is an incorrect way to manage advertising. To me, really, it's about strategy. It's no longer about levers that you can pull. And so, an example would be here, I've built a game, right? Before, it just wasn't possible. It just wasn't possible, right? Um, and now, for me, as an adult, it's pretty cool that I could build my own version of a childhood game. It's so much for me using tools that, you know, they used to say you had to go to school for. And now you don't have to go to school for this stuff. You just have to have an imagination. And, you have to have a few dollars. You don't have to have a lot, right, in order to accomplish something. So, I mean, you can give up, you can go for it. And then the option where it really isn't realistic to kick a field goal, yet 80 yards in football isn't there. I'm the type of person that when somebody puts up a wall and I'm thinking about advertising and I'm thinking about paid media, that today those walls are gone, right? The walls used to be we need to get it in a sprint, we need to have some sort of requirements document, we need to meet with 10 stakeholders, we need to do all those things to try and help our clients. But me, I'm just going to go for it. Did I make the right decision? No. So it's going to let me try it again. So I'm just going to punt the ball, right? And so now I get to play a little defense. I'm the little green dude. They keep running the ball. They got a 1 yard gain. They're not doing all the smart things. I'm getting them. It's no good. So I got the ball back. I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to score a touchdown. What's really cool about this, though, is that the things that used to be limiting are no longer it. So do you trust it? Me, absolutely, right? I trust the system. I trust the process of what is Google Ads, Microsoft Ads, Facebook Ads, of what is this new form of technology that empowers us to make better strategic decisions for businesses. It speeds us up, right? We can continue to bang our head on the wall versus things like this fence that I'm playing against. No offense, but I'm going to keep stopping them because I'm just that good, right? And then I'm going to get the ball and I'm going to go and I got a 5 yard gain. Now let's see what we can do for a pass. Say, hike. Oh, he's wide open. We're going to go for a touchdown. That is touchdown. We're now up 14-0, right? So kick the ball off. And does it make sense for us to use what Google is saying, the automated campaigns such as AI Max, P Max, Demand Gen, YouTube? There's no right answer, y'all. There's no proper way, but we can now look at it with enough information, enough data, and we can come up with robust strategies, targeted focused strategies that really I think in partnership with the new technology that can analyze and synthesize information in a way that we may not have been able to historically to help improve and reach, I mean literally reach where our customers are asking us to meet them, and that's where they are at. And so are we always going to get the technique right? No, we're not. So we have to then reassess And that can take time and it can take energy, but they're no longer roadblocks to us just being strategists. We don't have to be tacticians anymore. Anybody can build a campaign, an ad group, and settings. There are only so many ways that you can do it, right? There aren't a million ways to do that anymore. Keywords and this keyword, and you can target this way. Truthfully, if you're not delivering the right message pre-click and you're not delivering the right experience post-click, then what is it all for, right? And that, used to be cumbersome and take a lot of time. And people are like, well, I don't have time for that. I got to get something out the door. Well, now you could do both equally, right? And you can build products and solutions that, like this game, right? You could be the other team, keep running the ball up the middle, hit your head against the wall, go through business requirements and dev and all those things to try and come up with a solution. Or you can be outside the box and you can become a problem solver. A problem solver doesn't always mean that you're scoring a touchdown every time you're doing it. Sometimes, you're throwing incomplete passes, you're forced into punting. You have to make those decisions, right? And then that other piece gets to go again. So you're testing, you're learning, you're testing, you're learning, you're testing, you're learning, right? And is there a right way to test and learn? No, there's not a right way to test and learn. There's only one thing to do, is to try things that historically you've not tried in order to get who you're representing to where they need to be. And that could be any business from e-commerce to SaaS, right? Now, there are nuances for those businesses. And sure, you may be a journeyman, right? And understanding how that works, great. But if you use your tools, you end up at the 30, the 20, the 10, and in the end zone, right? Or your resources the right way, you can get in the end zone. And if you get in the end zone, that means you've done something right. Now, what did you learn from that? How can you now improve that? And you can speed up that process again of testing and learning and iterating and thinking strategically rather than worrying about the tactic, which the automation or the artificial intelligence that we're talking about can do for us, right? It can take care of the tactical work. It can pull the levers. It can model the campaigns. It can model the forecasting. It can do all those things. And so that means we stop hitting our head and doing the same thing over and over again, right? And so rather than failing again and again, what I can decide to do is I can take my time, I can lose yards, and when it matters, I can go forward and I can push myself for small gains. And then I can punt the ball and give it and do it all over again, right? But in the end, I win. And I just built a video game, y'all. I just demoed playing it, talked a little bit about strategy and how we should think, probably outside the box now. Those barriers that we once had don't exist. And so I hope as you're working through this that you're utilizing your favorite tool. It could be Gemini, hopefully for creative. You're using maybe Codex, but you have it built into Cursor or your IDE, period, whatever you want, command prompt, your own terminal, right? Or you're using Claude, which to me is my favorite tool, but I use it in partnership with Cursor. And it's an investment, right? I'm not going to lie to you. I spend hours and hours and hours outside of my working time to understand the tools and the benefits so that when I hit a wall, usually it's not my wall, but if I hit somebody else's wall, I can figure out a way to go around it or I can go up and over it, right? And I'm not always bringing people along. Sometimes I'm failing in that, right? Because I'm just going and it frees me up. And it frees me up to think beyond the normal so that I can work on being more efficient with paid media so that somebody else can benefit at the end of the day from my knowledge should they choose to partner with me, right? And whatever that might be. And so that could be financially, it could be mentally, it could be anything in life or in business, right? And so again, use your tools, use your resources. Artificial intelligence is here to help us. And I think is the forefront of us being more strategic and less tactical. Build the game the way you want it built. Play the game the way you want it played. And if you choose, right, make it harder. So I can tell you the next iteration of this game that I'm going to build is going to be much harder, and it's going to give the computer more control, and it's going to make it tougher for me to shut them out. All right. I love y'all.